Hello everyone, it's Grizzly Mike 1706. How you guys are doing? This is my review of ROH's Glory by Honor 9, live from New York City, the best city in the world, the best atmosphere in the world. If you have not been to a Ring of Honor New York City show live, you do not know what you're missing as a wrestling fan, because this is something you definitely have to experience. The electricity was great, the people were great, everybody was having fun, a great night of not just pro wrestling, but just a great night overall, and I will get into those things after I review the matches. So we start off with Jay Briscoe versus Kenny King. Good athletic match, but I have to point out that most of the fans were paying attention more to Kenny King's valet, if you will, because she was looking pretty stunning. She was pretty sexy, and everyone was saying, damn, who is that? Who is that? We all knew she was probably some stripper or something like that, but you know what? She was looking extremely gorgeous. But yeah, all in all, good match, Nice spots in there. Kenny King, I don't have to say how good this guy is. He's very athletic, and yeah, it's a good thing that Ring of Honor gave him an opportunity for him to show what he can do, and he's growing on a lot of fans. So lots of credit to that guy, definitely. Mark Briscoe versus Rhett Titus. This match, there were so many people who considered this match better than the first one. It was just as athletic, but I would say there was a little bit more storytelling in this match. There was more of that epic feel to it. So for that sense, then yes, I would say that maybe this match was a little bit better. But both matches were pretty good. Just write in the comment section how you guys would compare the two, for any one of you guys who have opinions on it. But I will say that Rhett Titus definitely brought it in the ring, because there are a few people out there that don't really like him as much because they feel he's goofy. I think he can be pretty good when he puts his mind to the match, and definitely, he brought it in this match, so I gotta give him credit for that. I would like to see a tag team match with these four guys, but it's been done so many times. But still, man, I know these guys can bring and deliver an awesome match, so that's really all that matters to me. Erick Stevens and the Necro Butcher versus Grizzly, Redwood, and Ballz Mahoney. This match is just filler and just for the crowd to have a sing-along, basically. I was just BSing and just talking to people, and not really into the match. Not saying I don't like any of those guys, not saying I didn't like the match, but I was just mostly, messing around, and you'll know why later. And I also would like to point out, guys, I was there live, so my interpretation of the show is going to be a lot different than someone who saw it on pay-per-view, okay? Double chain match, Colt Cabana versus El Generico, Kevin Steen, and Steve Corino. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. What I really love about this feud, it's been booked in the classical NWA style in a good way, where you have very long-term storytelling, and everything has a certain meaning to it, and the characters and the emotions and the actual storyline draws the crowd into it, and it has a very good literary aspect to it as well, especially with the way Kevin Steen has been portraying his character. The match itself I really loved. It was brutal, especially that freaking table spot that El Generico took had a great story to it. That the whole come from behind thing, and then the find the odds, but really done in a very good way. And the way everything turned out was just great. I really loved it. Like I said before, if you're the type of person that's into literature or music and whatnot, you can really look at this match and say, wow, it definitely had a lot of great meaning to it, and that is something that pro wrestling definitely needs, and that's why I'm really loving this feud, man. I'm really loving it. Everything about it is just great. And I also love how Kevin Steen, he removed El Generico's mask, and he took the blood and he wrote something on a chair, and then he put El Generico's mask on top of the chair. So that was pretty cool, because Kevin Steen was wearing a shirt with that design, so he brought that design to life. So yeah, great. And I also kind of like the fact when Steve Corino, he took the chair that had the ECW reunion logo on it, and he just looked at it and just threw it like, okay, who cares about ECW? It's dead, it's gone. Yes, and that's how I personally feel as well. Then we had intermission. Talked to a lot of people, met a lot of cool people. I just want to say this. I get really busy at wrestling shows. That's why what I try to do, I try to walk around a lot and, try to meet people so I can talk to them, get those things out of the way, because I know that I'm going to run into a lot of people. So if I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys, as some of you guys saw, it was because I was busy conversating with other people. So I'm sorry to the people that I really couldn't talk to. I really would have loved to, especially all the metalheads out there, man. Horns up all the time, baby. Eddie Edwards versus Shawn Daivari. Eddie Edwards, man, when I first saw this kid, I'm saying kid, he's probably older than me. When I first saw him, and he had the dreadlocks and all that other stuff, I knew he kind of had it, But the first thing I said, number one, he needs to change in his look. Okay, that's exactly what they did. They paired him up with Davey Richards, and man, one of the best decisions that anybody could have made. You know, he's definitely a gem. He's definitely a diamond. You know, that you gotta look through a whole bunch of stones to find. And the future is so bright for this guy, man. And the way they've been booking him, the way they've been building him, they're not shoving him down nobody's throat. And this slow build that they're doing is just amazing, and it's really going to get somewhere. All in all, the matches, it was pretty okay, but the one thing that stood out was that the fact that Shawn Daivari was very, big, very, very muscular. And we couldn't tell if that was acne or back hair, but he had a lot of it on his freaking back. He just had, like, his back you didn't even want to look at, man. And that's, I'm sorry, no disrespect to the guy. But, I mean, yeah, he needs some work, man. But still, good match. Austin Aries versus Christopher Daniels. Here's my gripe with the match. I love these two guys. I love these two guys, man, and I've been watching them for years. However, most wrestling fans knew that they were going to limit these two because, in essence, they had to. Because Bret Hart spoke about the fact that you don't want undercard matches overtaking the main event matches. And it's true. There is some truth to that. And it does depend on booking style, because there are people who say, well, you should book the show at a good pace. And there are other people who say, screw it, let's try to have every single match a 5-star match. So it depends how you want to look at it. As a matter of fact, comment on that as well. Do you prefer a good pace or every match balls to the walls, in your face? And with that being said, the reason why I bring it up is because these two could have stole the show. But as you know, you can pretty much tell that they wasn't going to give them too much time because they knew that they could have stole the show. So it was like they didn't want to take it away from the main event matches. But still, okay match. It could have been a lot better. It should have been a lot better. And this is not a knock on either of those two guys because they're both great and I love both of them, man. But next, we had the match of the night, which was Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas versus Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli. Much like Shawn Daivari, you really notice that Charlie Haas, he put on a lot of muscle. He looked very lean in this match. He came in incredible shape, and so did Shelton Benjamin. And these four guys are world class, especially Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli. And you know what? They brought it. They used the slight of a WWE style, but in a way that it worked. You know what I mean? It was epic. They knew when to slow it down. They knew when to bring the spots in, and it was great. And I will say this, and when I spoke to Chris Hero, I forgot to tell him that Chris Hero right now, he is at his best, okay? You can kind of tell he's been focusing more on the, the psychology and all that other stuff in the match instead of moves. And that's why, he's a great wrestler, man. I never used to really look at him like that before, but now he's really upped his game. A lot of these guys have really upped their game. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but here's the beauty of pro wrestling. It's not just about going out there and doing great moves and whatnot. It's not just about being always unpredictable, because predictability can work. It's all about the timing and having everything make sense and have perfect meaning to it. And that's why this match was just so good. And I was so happy to see Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas without the handcuffs and without the ridiculous politics, man. But that's another topic. The match was just great, guys. You really should check this match out and really give these two guys a chance, because guys like Kieran Castagnoli, everybody loves them, and guys like Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, they're so good, but there are so many people out there that don't really know what they can do. So if you are an E fan, please check out this pay-per-view for these two guys, man, because they really bust their ass out there, and they didn't come in with no egos whatsoever. Tyler Black versus Roderick Strong. Tyler Black was, mostly playing the heel because, as you know, he's leaving to the WWE. When he did the whole "you can't see me" thing, that was incredible, man. That got so much heat. But see, here's the thing. The fans then started chanting, "We want Cena." The match itself, it was okay. It wasn't that bad. Could have been a little better, but then again, Tyler, he's playing the heel and whatnot, so you can kind of understand what the direction they was going with the match. The outcome, everybody knew it was coming, but they pretty much didn't have no choice in the matter, because what can you do? It was a last-minute decision. But one thing I do like to mention, Tyler Black did broke character for like a few seconds, because, he was a heel and whatnot, and then as soon as the match is over, the crowd started saying, "Thank you, Tyler," and he was like, "Wait a second, you guys are booing me the whole time and now you're saying thank you?" Then he's like, "Okay, wait, I gotta get back in character." Then he flipped the crowd off, and afterwards, Homicide came up saying how he wants a title shot and whatnot. So yeah, as far as the wrestling concerned, it was just great. Now, with a few side notes I gotta bring up, because remember, I was there live. A few buddies of mine, 3 of them, they showed up with Nexus shirt. So the heat that they were getting was so incredible, especially one of them. He takes his shirt off, he sits on a chair, and he's waving the next shirt around, and the crowd is just freaking eating at these guys alive. So that was great. You know, I hung out with some very great guys, a lot of great guys, you know. And, you know, we hung out, got something to eat, we hung out at the bar, and there was a whole bunch of wrestlers there. We met a lot of wrestlers, so just a fun night. And if you guys ever come to New York City, man, you know who to chill with and whatnot. You know who to get drunk with, you know. It's your boy Crazy Mike 1706. And another thing I would like to mention too, there were a lot of women at the show. Beautiful, gorgeous, well-dressed, well-prepared looking women, and they actually knew their wrestling. And so a few of them was really down to earth, you know, talking to everybody and whatnot. So yeah, that was fun. But again, man, just a great night, and I can't wait for the next night. Also, if anyone of you guys out there know me personally, and you're trying to visit New York City and you don't have a place to stay and stuff like that, do me a favor, talk to me ahead of time. In any event, it's been Crazy Mike 1706. Horns up. I would like to meet some of you guys in the future. Take care.